They're constantly monitored by facial recognition cameras that are able to instantly put a face to a name. Now the Chinese are also ranked, given a mark out of a possible 950 points. A score in the 700s is considered good. Around the 500 mark is not. For now, the number is a sort of bank credit rating, keeping track of everyone's spending habits.
I think being ranked is a good thing. A society has to have rules.
It forces us to be well behaved.
It may seem scary, but it's just like that here. We're used to it, and anyway, we don't have a choice.
But in an effort to keep all of its subjects in line, Beijing is taking the system a step further in 2020. It's aggregating data gathered by banks, private companies, and the state to rate if someone's a good or bad citizen.
By using the most data possible, the so-called big data, the system will play an important role in rebuilding a moral society.
The state will go over every detail of a person's life with a fine-tooth comb. Their financial situation, spending habits, career, even behavior on social media. Criticizing the government online or displaying outward signs of wealth is a no-no. On the other hand, praising the party or giving blood increases your social credit. Xiao Wenwang is a model citizen. She lives in Nanjing, a testing ground for social ranking. Married with a child, she has a job in a retirement home, no debts, and she wouldn't dream of jaywalking.
As a good citizen, I respect the rules of the road. If I didn't, I'd lose points on my social credit.
In theory, everything can be taken into account in the social score, even the most innocuous errands like supermarket shopping. When Xiao Wenwang makes an electronic payment, her purchases tell the state a lot about her. Buying cigarettes would count against her. On the other hand, nappies show she's an attentive mother. Beer could indicate alcoholism. She'd be better off buying water. In this pilot city of 8 million people, there are only 18,000 model citizens. For Xiao Wenwang, there are perks to be had, such as paying half price for the bus.
I get discounts for all public services, even at museums. And the library is free for me, thanks to my score.
A good score brings benefits, but people with low scores lose rights. The cinema names and shames people considered untrustworthy, plastering their details, even their addresses, across big screens.
It's a matter of principle. Those people have to be condemned.
Those people aren't honest, so they have to pay the price.
It's only right to pay your debts. You have to blacklist those that don't.
The Supreme Court has created a blacklist for so-called bad citizens, those whose ratings have dropped to zero. On it are companies, but also 23 million people to date. Among them is this journalist Liu Hu. He got a little too close to uncovering corruption among high-profile party members. After being sued for defamation by the subject of a story he'd written, he was blacklisted. He only realized when he tried to buy a train ticket and was told he was banned from traveling.
That tells me I'm still on the blacklist.
Punished because he's been branded untrustworthy by the state.
Once you're blacklisted, you can no longer get a bank loan, start a business, buy an apartment, or even send your children to a private school.
Liu Hu is among a tiny minority of people who have dared to criticize the system, which some are calling a digital dictatorship.
I worry, because I think many people like me will be deprived of individual freedoms, and all of us will live with restrictions of one kind or another.
After our meeting, Liu Hu learned that his name had been removed from the blacklist, but he still has a long way to go if he doesn't want to languish at the bottom of the social credit hierarchy.
Call all Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai. Give my double honors to my teachers, in whom I learned this truth from, start with, beginning at the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Bragatham to all the sincere brethren, pushing this this word throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. Just a quick video, because, I often tell people that, basically what you see, to those that are paying attention, what you see going on in these other countries, these other nations like China and other places, it's a prelude to what's coming here to America. And it seems like a far-fetched idea to a lot of people, but nevertheless, those of the faith know and understand and believe in the prophecies are, written, the things written for us to learn from. All right. So, sure enough, this is the type of system that's coming here to America. Often say, all roads lead to the chip, and which is the mark of the beast spoken about in Revelations, the 13th chapter. All right, and they're gonna issue these things out via their draconian laws and draconian measures. All right, just like how you got I always use the example of wearing face mask. If you're not wearing a face mask, you basically you can't function in society. You can't enter into a lot of establishments, social distancing and all these other things. All right. This is going to be the new normal. All right. Like you've seen in this video, people who don't pretty much conform to this beast system, basically, you won't be, you're going to be looked at or looked down upon. You're going to be a menace to society. They're going to, plaster your face, on these billboards and, with all your information, scare tactics into basically, making you accept the, basically, the going, falling in line with the whole beast system. This is, all roads lead to the mark of the beast. And again, as I mentioned it in Isaiah 10, starting in verse 1, it says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed." So you see, they're going to put all these laws and legislations into play, basically, forcing the people to accepting these things. All right. Because again, sure enough, if you don't, you don't do what they say, they can, arrest you and fine you, heavy fines. All right. Which is now, they're talking about forced vaccinations. And, if you don't take the vaccination, they can fine you or they can jail you. All right. Basically, scaring the people into, getting in line with the whole New World Order agenda. All right. That's how they're going to push this whole agenda. Fear tactics and fear mongering and heavy fines and unrighteous decrees, as I just read. Reading verse 2, it says, "To turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless." So basically, because, they even say this in the world, even the devil doesn't play fair, so again, basically, Esau, these devils, they're going to use your weakness against you. So let's say, you lose a good paying job, well, not even, let's say, you have a good paying job and, once this chip comes around, and they start issuing the chip, if you don't have the chip, then, you can no longer work at that job. If you're getting, people receiving all these benefits from the government, if in order to continue to see, this is why they have you so dependent upon the government, because eventually, once they start rolling up with those chips, in order to continue to get those benefits, you're going to have to take the chip. If not, they can just, take all those benefits away from you and, leave you with nothing. And the list goes on. This is how they're going to usher in their new world order and getting everyone into accepting this whole beast system. Right. And again, all roads lead to the mark of the beast. Surely this is coming to the streets of America. Right. And again, at the end of the day, it's about complete and total control, because, Esau, they have all the money, all the riches that, anyone can ever imagine, anyone can ever dream about. Now it's about, complete and total control. At the end of the day, they want to control your spirit, your mind, your thoughts. This technology that they have, they're going to be able to tap into your thoughts, your conversations. Anyone that speaks up against the government, like, as I was mentioning earlier, speaking against the government, they might, label you a criminal or a terrorist or whatever the case may be, and they'll plaster your face on wanted posters and billboards. All right, you're gonna have these Amber Alerts out for you, again, with all your information, your address, and everything. Because again, they're gonna, fear the people for the most part. They're gonna use a lot of fear mongering into getting people into accepting this new way of life. This is going to be the new normal. All right, because like I said, at the end of the day, they want complete and total control. They want to control everything, and everything. All your information is going to be on that chip. And again, if you don't have the chip, you can't function in society. You can't do business. You can't do anything. And if you speak up against the government, if you say anything that they don't like, they can just cut your chip off. They can cut all your information off, your finances. All right, because everything's going to be on a digital database. All right, but this is what it's about. Going here to Revelations 18 and Revelations 18 and verse 13. It says, matter of fact, let me just start at verse 10. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon. And that this great city is talking about America. All right, the land of confusion, the mixing pot. It says, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all fine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves. So you see, they have all this stuff. They have all the riches. They have everything that anyone can ever imagine. And ultimately what they want is, when you read on, it says, and souls of men. So that's pretty much the last thing, like the last step. They want to control your mind, your soul, your spirit. All right. And this is what this is about. The mark of the beast in Revelation, the 13th chapter. So in verse 16, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great. So you see, because, it says, and he causeth all. So Esau, he's going to force everyone's hand. He's going to force something to happen to where everyone has to take this chip. Right. And again, only those of faith, only those that really trust and believe in Yahweh Shem Shai, they're going to be the only ones to not take this chip, because it's a land of no faith. All right. And this is a poison that Esau, he spread throughout the whole earth, you know, replacing the image of Yahweh Shem Shai and you know, putting himself in that image of being the Most High. All right. So he's going to cause some event, something's going to happen to where everyone has to get this chip. All right. And notice how it says both small and great, rich and poor. That doesn't involve the middle class. All right. You know, when you study this whole coronavirus, you know, it knocked out a lot of, you know, middle class businesses. All right. You're either going to fall into the category of the rich or the poor. All right. It says free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you see, if you take this chip, all right, you're gonna have, you know, you're gonna have his number in you, all right. You're gonna be basically cattle to the rich elite, the wicked elite. You know, they're gonna be your, you know, your slave masters. You're gonna be slaves. Because again, you know, due their draconian laws and draconian measures, you know, they're gonna control everything, man. You know, and you won't be able to you know, have certain conversations with individuals. You won't be able to say certain things without them, you penalizing you. You know, complete and total control. You know. And again, you know, this is what it's about at the end of the day, because if you take that chip, you're pledging your full allegiance to Esau Edom, all right, which is a complete disrespect and slap in the face to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, because he's the Most High, all right. You know, there is no other beside him. You know, so. This is what it's about at the end of the day. Esau, he wants complete and dominant. You know, he wants dominance. He wants complete and utterant control. This is what it's about. So this is what's coming here to America. All right. So with that, I'm going to give all credit to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Once again, double honors to my teachers in whom I learned this truth from, the men start with the beginning at the apostles, the elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.